Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 175 of The Brink of Sanity. 175 of these. Mark is here as always, and we have Mike from Poplard. How you doing, Mike?
What's happening, guys?
Mike, can I ask you an important question?
You can ask me a very important question.
Even who you are, really.
Absolutely.
Do you ever, when you go to like a restaurant or something, or like a bar, and there's like a one-person bathroom, when you go in there, and there's a toilet and there's a urinal. Have you seen that before?
I feel like I have.
What do? Do you use the toilet? Do you use the urinal?
It depends on what I have to do.
But like, you could do both in the toilet. Why do they have the urinal in there?
Maybe some guys aren't comfortable. I mean, I think it's just like a matter of ease. Like, you can just walk up to the urinal and do your business. I feel like the urinal is specifically for number one and the toilet is for number two.
I mean, you could use the urinal for number two, but you probably won't be allowed in that restaurant again.
Probably not.
Based on this question, I'm assuming Mark uses the toilet for number one.
I was in a restaurant actually yesterday where they had two urinals and a toilet and a bathroom that's meant, I would assume, for one person. I don't know if you're supposed to, like it's the new thing where the guys are going in like groups of three to like make sure, or I'm supposed to like switch streams halfway. It was a really weird. I wanted to almost ask the restaurant, hey, I let your place it's a great restaurant. Why are there two urinals in there? Did you guys just have an extra one around and just had to tape it to the floor, the wall?
They want variety. They want you to experience the feeling of pissing in multiple urinals.
I felt like maybe I should like have some more to drink and then go back there and use the other urinal to get the full experience.
Right, and rate the two of them.
Yeah, maybe one of them doesn't work at all. Maybe one of them I try using, they'd be like, that was the fake one.
It's a show urinal.
Yeah, or maybe like I press the button and like a secret wall opens up and I enter like
Sweet.
a mess. Like now I'm going to go on an adventure.
I went to one that looked like a one person. It also had a urinal and a toilet, but there was no door for the toilet, but there was also no lock for the door.
What?
So,
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so I guess you could use it, but you'd have to go really quick or get like a guard or something. It's very awkward.
You can't poop in a bathroom like that.
No, definitely not.
We used to have a shared bathroom in college where there was no lock or anything.
That's ridiculous.
Most of the time it just worked out, basically, when no one would ever come over. But like one time I was there and someone opened it up and we had a brief moment where we stared at each other and then I was like, go away now.
It was an outward opening door.
Well, the door, there's no actual door on the actual bathroom. And then you have like the little place where the toilet is, and that there was no lock on it either, but there was a door.
Okay, but was it an outward or an inward opening one?
Inward.
So you could at least poop.
Oh, actually, no, outward. It was outward.
Oh, see, that's the problem. Well, with the inward one, at least you could just poop with your arm sticking straight out. So, like, you stiff arm the door.
You basically how you do is when someone's walking by, you had to be like, someone's walking, you could tell someone's going into the bathroom, you had to be like, hey, what's up? Don't come in here.
Yeah, I feel like my high school bathrooms or maybe like my junior high school bathrooms were like that. Like they had a door that you open and close, but the stalls themselves didn't have doors. So, like, if somebody walked in and you were, sitting on the pot, like and they walked past you, like they could totally like watch you.
That's just cruel.
Did you go to elementary school in prison?
I did not.
Just checking. That's pretty awful for like a
No, it was
public
in New
school.
York City, so close enough.
Oh, that's pretty awful.
There's also a bar in the West Village where there's a urinal kind of right by the front door. And I didn't realize how close it was to the front door. And I'm going and I look to my left and the women's line for the bathroom is right outside the men's room. So I look to my left and there's a girl within reaching distance while I'm peeing.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
No, it's not.
If just a quick survey, if there's just one person bathrooms and there's a girl and a guy's, do you even hesitate before you go into the girls? If the guy's is taken?
I don't know if I would go into the girl. It's never happened to me. I've never gone into the girls' bathroom.
Oh, if it's a one-person bathroom, I consider them all unisex.
No,
Okay.
I don't because I know, like, as soon as I get in there, a girl's gonna show up and it's just gonna be an awkward situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just like I'll come out and go. I'll like if she's like, what are you doing? Why are you taking so long? I'm like, oh, I'm pre-op. I will be a girl soon. Actually, I had a friend. I have a friend who's in their family house. There's a bathroom like connected to the kitchen, and so you go over there and you have like eat dinner there, and then the bathroom's right there, and so it's like
That's
really
the
awkward to go to the
worst
bathroom.
place.
Yeah, because then you're like, I don't want to do anything very loud in here, or else they're gonna hear me while they're eating their hamburger, and it's gonna be awful.
Well, not only that, but like if they're eating dinner and you have to go and like drop a load or something like that, and you open the door, like they're gonna be sitting there eating, and like the smell is gonna like come through.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the worst located bathroom ever.
I don't want to say it, but that was my reason for not using the women's bathroom.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
Yeah,
bad
no, of
architecture.
course. That is awkward when you open the door and like someone else is going there and you're like, it stinks to high heaven.
yeah. It's
Then
like-
you go, it was the guy before me or the girl before me.
yeah,
whoever.
exactly. I just peed really quick. It was the guy before me.
No. You don't understand. I actually murdered a squirrel in there. And just to end the topic of bathrooms, I have one more. There's a bathroom down in like Soho, like this Thai restaurant, where when you close the door, you could see the whole restaurant, but no one could see in.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah. No, I went to a bar like that, too. I did not like that at all. Even though you know they can't see you, you kind of feel like they can.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're like with people, you could like see them what they're doing when you're in the toilet, and when no one knows about it, you're like, why the hell are they taking food off my plate, or
yeah, exactly.
why is that guy putting his balls in my drink?
That's sketchy, man.
Who's Mike?
So when you agreed to come on the show today, did you think we would open up with 10 minutes of poop talk?
No, but I'm totally cool with that.
Highbrow as you get.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all about it. Well, not all about poop, but yeah, not that kind of guy. But I'm comfortable talking about that kind of stuff.
All right.
I have a baby. I interact with poop every day of my life.
There you go. There you go.
Lots of poop.
Yes.
So
All shapes, sizes, and colors.
So Mike is the creator of PopBlurred, POPBLERD.com. If you're a listener of our Nick show, you've heard me promote some of the articles I wrote for the site. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the site before we move on to urine topics?
Later, we're going to talk on what things we found in our own vomit. Go on.
And after the break, we'll talk about some periods.
It's the bodily function show. So PopBlurred was created about 2.5 years ago. It's a pop culture website. We talk mostly music, but we also talk about TV, movies, sports. Obviously, Jay has contributed to our basketball column there. Politics, pretty much anything pop culture related. I founded the site. I run the site, but I have a bunch of other very talented writers working for the site, and it's a lot of fun. It's a cool site. You should check it out.
It's a pretty cool site. How many people do you have writing for it? It looks everyone like check it out. It's slightly less popular than Facebook, but pretty damn popular. It's actually you'll spend a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff to read. It's interesting. How many? Because there's a lot of content on here. How many people write for you?
My entire staff is about 30 people. I'd say out of those 30, there are probably about 10 that contribute regularly, and then the rest just pop in kind of once in a while.
Does anyone get paid?
No, I don't
So
get paid. Nobody else gets paid.
How do you convince 30 people to work for you without?
Yeah, tell us your secrets, because we can't get one extra person.
Or is just the economy this bad that basically like you get
really-
resume after resume to like get work for free? I used to be a senior executive at IBM. I can't find a job. Can I write for you?
I guess I just know some nice people. I mean, I hook my people up every now and then. I mean, if you're a site owner and you're not giving, I have a guilty conscience. So if I can't give them money, I'd find other ways to take care of them.
Are you saying you buy them whores?
I am the whore, actually.
It's really awful.
Mike shows up in some lingerie.
Oh God, I don't even want to.
Calling me Michelle tonight.
That's kind of gross. But yeah, I mean, it gets figured out. I mean, and hopefully there'll be a day when I can pay people. But I mean, a lot of the folks are local to me, so I buy them a couple of beers, I take them to dinner, I babysit, I do whatever it is I got to do, just to make them feel like there's some kind of reciprocity happening there.
Yeah, maybe if you can quit writing for me. I mean, a lot of people like probably quit working for Facebook for free for a little while, and they didn't get the stock. They didn't get all the stock later on.
That's right. Well, I mean, I don't know that anybody really wants Facebook stock right now. Anyway, it seems to be going into the toilet.
Yeah, it was
Well,
supposed to
they
make
keep writing
everyone rich.
articles like Mark Zuckerberg lost $7 billion or $8 billion today. I'm like, yeah, I don't think he has it that bad.
Yeah, that's Mark Zuckerberg wiping your ass money.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also recently on there was the top 15 video games, arcade games of all time, and yours truly wrote 2 of those.
Yes, you did.
What do you write on there, Mike?
Me?
Yeah. What kind of stuff are you actually writing yourself?
A little bit of everything. Mostly I write about music, but it's kind of anything that tickles my fancy. Like I've written about basketball before. I've written, I write about books. I write about some political stuff. I write, whatever kind of comes to mind. I mean, it's not so structured that if there's something on my mind, I can't speak freely about it, So it's just kind of whatever is on the top of my mind at any given time.
And what does pop blurred mean for those that don't?
Well, blurred, for those of you who don't watch Scrubs or listen to certain genres of music, a blurred is a black nerd. So I happen to be a black nerd, and the site's about pop culture, and I like the way pop sounds in front of things. So pop blurred just kind of sounded like the right thing to move forward with.
It's funny because like it's just like it's funny because you're like you identify I am a black nerd. If you didn't say that, it'd be kind of like a weird like, why is he making fun of black nerds in his random title?
Well, I think the funny thing about that is that if I have 30 people working on the site, 25 of them are white. So it's a majority white site run by a black guy called Pop Blurred.
Yeah,
So,
it's like the same like if like I'm Jewish and I make a joke that's like a Jewish related, I'll remind people I'm Jewish. Because if you don't, people are like, ha ha ha, or is he the new Hitler? I can't tell.
right, exactly. Yeah, it's not some like meta-racial, post-racial, whatever type thing. The person that runs the site is legitimately black. So there's a blurred in the CEO position, I guess.
We've already hit the topics of poop and race. We're going strong.
There you go.
Here.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you do? What do you do in the real world?
What do I do in the real world? I work in the music business.
Cool.
I do sales, marketing, and publicity for a music distribution company. Put it that way.
Do you any artists that we would know of?
Plenty of artists that you would know of, probably. Radiohead, Mumford & Sons, Phoenix, Fish, blah. Why am I suddenly drawing a blank?
Yeah, I've heard of Radiohead. I think they sold a few albums.
They sold a few albums in their day. Yes, they have. So,
A bunch of obscure bands that everyone in the world would know.
no, yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, Jay. What are we talking about this week?
I have a bunch of stuff. We were talking the other day about how I guess we're just at the age where everybody has posts baby pictures on their Facebook. And
I do because I have a baby.
you hardly ever post baby pictures on your Facebook.
To be fair, I also had a blog where for the first year of my son's life, I had a blog recounting his whole life, and so I had tons of pictures on there. So I figured if anyone wants to see them, they can go to my blog.
Yeah, exactly. Like I like to talk about basketball, but I don't want to piss off all my friends, so now I have a basketball podcast.
Right.
But not everyone is as generous as Mark and keeps his baby pictures separate. So
Right.
I'm assuming it's the same for you. You're about our age, Mike. There's baby pictures everywhere.
Just by the way, I'm just going to from now on email every picture individually to Jay that I've taken of my son. Every day we're like, Jay, check it out. Here's another picture of Zach. Here's another picture of Zach. Here's him smiling. Here's him crying. Here's him burping. Here's him pooping.
So New Daddyhood's done?
Yeah, I just did it for the first year. I
Okay.
figured doing it for the first. I want to recount the first year and like good memory for my wife and I, but I figured to recount his entire life might be a little creepy.
Yeah.
Though now I keep thinking of more ideas I want to post on the site, but I'm like, okay, I gotta not do it anymore.
Yeah, no, you've
it's
posted
a cool
a
thing
lot.
to look back on. Basically.
I'm only like 8 months in, so I got 4 months to go.
Okay, well, it ends. The baby continues, but the site ends.
Anyway, there's an app now that will replace the baby pictures on your timeline with pictures of whatever you want it to,
I've heard of that.
which I think is so awesome.
You know, I can't say that baby pictures in general annoy me. There's a tasteful way to do it, and there's a distasteful way to do it. I feel like some people, I mean, some people have cute babies, so they're just kind of fun to look at. But some people post
Mike
baby
likes to
pictures,
look
but
at
they don't-
babies.
Oh yeah,
If you post a cookie picture of your baby, he's printing it out.
oh yeah. My white van is parked right outside. I mean, but some people are just like it monopolizes their timeline. They're like, oh baby, like they're the only fucking people who have ever had babies in their entire life. I'm like, you know, having a baby is a fairly common thing. There's nothing about it that makes you particularly unique. Like, go easy. You know?
But like
You
the
know
girl, the girl on my timeline who would post day 1 and then a picture, day 2, day 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and on day 8, I deleted her from my friends list.
Good
To be
call.
fair, now that I have a kid, I realize something. Your kid becomes this hobby that not even a hobby, but something you're doing like 24 all the time. You're so into it basically that's even more than sports. This is what you want to talk about. So then you like go hang out with other friends who don't have kids, and they're like, oh, let's talk about baseball or oh, what's going on in this, and you're like, can't we talk about babies? You guys don't want to talk about babies. I'm going to hang out with people that want to talk about babies. And you just encourage people to have babies so you can just talk more about babies with people.
Yeah, but I mean, I got laid
And
off.
then the best thing is like the best part about hanging out with like your family, like we hung out with my in-laws yesterday, and the best part about hanging out with my in-laws is their favorite topic is my son. My favorite topic is my son. Anyone else that hangs out with us would want to kill us.
I mean, I got laid off, and I don't post pictures of Mass Effect for Xbox every day.
You should actually post a picture of yourself on the couch day 1, day 2 of being unemployed.
I'll just picture the game I'm playing and me on the couch.
like people start looking at like, hey, day 8 through 16, you seem to wear the same outfit. Yes.
If you
Yeah,
flip it really
exactly.
quick, you could see my beard grow.
Exactly.
Those crumbs on from day 11 to day 15, they didn't leave your shirt. I know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the baby stuff doesn't bug me too much, but there's kind of a line, an invisible line somewhere where it goes from okay, this is cute to okay, this is annoying.
Yeah.
But maybe beyond, if you want to replace annoying things on Facebook, beyond the baby stuff, there's a lot of other things to replace on there. You should have something that replaces mundane, annoying statements with something like absurd. Instead of saying, Elizabeth Smith is having a wonderful day, it replaces it with Elizabeth Smith ate a squirrel today.
Awesome.
Awesome. Then you're like, awesome, I like that.
Right? Exactly.
Or
That would
anybody
definitely
announcing.
that would increase the number of likes that I push on Facebook
Yeah,
tremendously.
exactly. I do sarcastic likes, though, and that's fun sometimes.
Okay.
My favorite one is a girl posted, I had a horrible nightmare last night, and I clicked like.
Well, they should have more than, I think with Jay's right, they should have more than just a like button. There should be like a dislike button or at least like some other moods besides like.
Yeah, like-
people post
Right.
things sometimes they're like, today my dad passed away. We went to the funeral, and it's like very sad. And then people will make some comments, but then there's like 3 likes. And you're like,
Right. And
do
you're
they like
yeah.
what he said about his dad or just hated the man?
Right. You're like a meh button. Where's,
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that would work perfectly.
I would use that anytime anybody announces the weather outside.
I would do a I feel your pain button. All Facebook should be is a series of buttons you press to express emotion to
a
people.
series of emotions.
Instead of interacting, just a
Yeah,
series
no,
of
you
buttons.
can't use words anymore. It's only buttons.
Because like I don't even have to go to weatherchannel.com anymore. It's just, it's raining out, it's snowing, it's warm out. Thanks, people. I didn't realize that.
It's not like you can't just look out of your window.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
You guys go on do you ever use Dig?
I did. They just changed the format around.
You know what Dig so Dig was pretty popular. Those that didn't know, it was like a site that was like supposed to be like social media with news stories. So people put up their popular news stories and people vote them to the top and like you see what your friends, what news stories they're looking at. And for a while it was really, really popular.
It may or may not have been where I found 90% of my news stories for the last 2 years for the
It's basically in the
podcast.
middle of
Okay.
almost being shut down. It got bought for I think this year it got bought for $500,000, which is still like a decent size of money, but I think it was valued at many, many millions prior to this. And if you think about how much it was basically like it was bought with a like for like a middle class home is usually bought for.
Yeah, it made up to like $20 million. It was worth up to like $20 million. Then it sold for $500,000. And then they decided, instead of breaking everything into categories, they would have like sports and current events and politics. They just threw everything on the front page. And if it's more than like 2 hours old, I have no idea how to find it. I looked for like an hour yesterday because I wanted to find stuff to talk about. And everything just on the front page, and it only goes like 3 articles deep. So I don't even know how to navigate the site. So
I find it's weird that like how awful it must be to be one of the founders, and like it was up to $20 million at one point, and you're like, no, we're gonna wait till it gets higher.
Yeah, we're gonna wait. We're gonna sell at $40 million. Oops.
And now,
Yeah.
Which is still $500,000 is still a substantial amount of money, but
it ain't 20 million.
Yeah,
it ain't 20 million. It ain't retirement money.
Yeah, that's the difference between never having to work again and getting like a couple months off.
What do you think you have to win the lottery to like you say I'm done working for the rest of my life?
I was thinking about that today. I would think it would have to be over 5 million. 5 million might be the cutoff point.
Jay, apparently $4 million, he pisses on that. I don't have a job, but $4 million? Come on, man. I have to go back to work after that.
I'm not saying I'd be back at work tomorrow, but you would probably have to work again at some point.
Not if you move to like Nicaragua.
Now, are you also talking tax-free
You also
$4
won't live
million?
very long if you move to Nicaragua.
Yes, that is true. I would be murdered in a second. Are you talking about tax-free $4 million or just like...
I don't know, tax man. Yeah, tax-free. Mike, what do you think?
I could probably live for the rest of my life on 4 million. I'm a pretty frugal guy.
I'm frugal. I can live on 4 million.
Yeah, I figure somewhere around like the 3 or 4 million mark.
I mean, I figure I spent $1 million on ramen, and I should be good.
That'll definitely buy you ramen for the rest of your life. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, it's just like it'd be weird to like win, say like $1 million, and then people will be like, "Oh, you never have to work." You're like, "Well, after taxes, it really wasn't as much as you expect. I kind of do have to work," and no one would ever understand that.
Yeah, no. After taxes, you have like 600,000, and then you buy a house, and you have like 200,000 left.
Right.
So yeah, you definitely have to work again.
Yeah.
Which
Unless
is crazy that $1 million is not enough to retire on, but that's just the truth of it now.
Again, Nicaragua, here we come.
Yeah.
Get yourself some camo, and you're all set.
Exactly.
Or you move to like somewhere in Africa where you're like, where they had the Stallius Brothers things where like, for the price of a cup of coffee, you could feed a family of 4 there. You're like, well, with $1 million, I have like at least 3 cups of coffee. I should live like a king there.
What is that family of 4 being fed, though, for the price of a cup of coffee?
Obviously not coffee. They definitely don't look like they're happy in those commercials. So
They don't.
I always wonder if the cameramen are like, "Hey, I didn't finish these fries. Do you guys want the rest of them?" What else are we going to talk about today, Jay? Or Mike? I don't have any topics to talk about.
All right. We actually got an email. We could go over emails.
Jay wrote an email to us, I guess. Go on.
Yes. No. Last week, Frankie wrote us an email with a bunch of stories he wanted us to talk about. And this week...
Talk about them.
And no, this week, Michael wrote us an email with a bunch of topics. So thank you guys. You make our lives much easier. Michael also had a few questions attached to it. So he wrote, what is our opinion on Australian people?
They should be eradicated from the earth. Go on. Next question. What does that mean? What is your opinion on Australian? Like, is that you're like, oh, maybe we should, what do you, I don't know, they're nice people.
I have 2 experiences with Australian people. One, I was dating a girl, and she went to Australia for 6 months for some study abroad thing.
And she got nailed by an Australian dude there?
Worse, she came back a lesbian. So
So she got nailed by some Australian chick there.
yes.
Or maybe she got nailed by an Australian dude there, and like she was like, okay, now I'm done.
Brought a whole new meaning to Down Under.
Once I nail an Australian kid.
My second one is Dean from Australia, who used to be a regular caller. I think he still listens, but he hasn't called in a while. He is an author, and he wrote a pretty good book, and he was on the show once or twice, and he's a good dude. So those are my two experiences with Australia, one good, one bad.
All right.
Yes.
Mike, have you ever been locked in a room with an Australian?
Not against my will.
Okay, so it was like something that you wanted to do.
I mean, I dated. Well, we'll back up for a second. I date dudes, so I dated an Australian dude for a while.
Okay.
And
was it just the accent?
It wasn't the accent
Okay.
because I didn't know he was Australian. I mean,
You
obviously,
thought
when I met him,
he
I
was
did-
British, right?
Probably at the time. Now I know the difference between a British accent and an Australian accent. They're actually fairly different.
No, I know that really pisses them
Yeah.
off, though.
But,
I studied abroad in Australia, and I remember asking someone, "Are you Australian? Is it Australian your accent?" Because I wasn't sure if it was Australian or British, and they said, "I'm American, and you're an idiot." That was a true
Nice.
story. He sounded like he did not sound like I sounded. I don't know. Maybe he was from a different part of the U.S.
I got nothing against Australians. I mean, I like In Excess and Men at Work, and those are the only things I can think of right now that are from Australia.
Do you find that dating an Australian man, is he any different than any other?
Well,
guy?
this was a long time ago,
Yeah.
so I can't really remember. I mean, he was a pretty regular guy. You know, he didn't wear like a Crocodile Dundee hat or anything like that. He was just,
Jay, the next question is, what do you think of Chinese people? What do you think? What do you think of people from?
It's just a
What do you
list of
What do you
countries.
think of people from Greece?
exactly.
No, the second question is who is Bloomberg? Because we did the top 5 things Bloomberg is going to ban last episode.
He's the mayor. He started a company called Bloomberg worth like billions of dollars that does like a. It's basically said it's a news service for business, and he's also the mayor of New York City. For those that aren't from here,
He changed the law to you can't run more than 2 consecutive terms, to you can't run more than 3, so he can run for a third.
Right.
he has like weird things he's done. He's also he doesn't want people to drink more than 16 ounces of soda, and he's in favor of flying homeless people to different parts of the U.S.
Yes.
That's an actual policy of his. Is if you're a homeless person in New York City and you have family anywhere else in the U.S., they will buy you a one-way ticket to get the hell out of New York City.
That's a real plan, by the way.
That's a real policy. You could look it up. That's something that we do in New York City because we
I am
will.
so glad I
we
don't live in
export
New York
homeless people.
anymore.
Where do you live now?
I'm in Boston.
Well, you know what? You could have gotten to Boston a lot cheaper than that. I don't know how you got there, but you could have just moved out into the streets and they
Moved
would
out-
have given you a free
And they
ticket.
would have gave me a one-way ticket. Ah, if only I had known.
You're like, oh, I have family in Hawaii if you want to fly me there.
Right? Exactly. One-way ticket to Honolulu, I'm in.
So if you want to submit questions, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Brink of Sanity. You could email us, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com, or you could leave a voicemail, which is 631-676-1181. It's so easy.
Do I like you guys on Facebook?
I don't know. I don't know if you
I'm
did.
looking now. Oh, I should.
Your Facebook thing said it was disabled for a while.
Well, I deleted my profile and put up another one.
Well, that makes sense.
Why did
Yes.
you do that?
It had some privacy issues.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was like, why are we not friends? Did I
Yeah.
get deleted? But
I didn't delete anybody intentionally.
What were your privacy issues? If you don't mind me asking, 'cause I'm going to.
I don't know if I want to explain those privacy issues on a publicly listened to podcast.
Dude, the word public is really not really that public here. You might as well just be in a room with just 3 of us.
Yeah, I mean, I there were some people that could see my status updates that
Is it the
Shouldn't have
Australian
been-
guy?
it wasn't the Australian guy. I don't. You know what? This was so long ago that I don't even remember the Australian guy's name.
Okay.
So, and I doubt he remembers mine.
Well,
So-
this Australian guy also sent us some news stories that he wants us to comment on. So maybe we can go over a few of those.
I have a question. The
Australian
Australian
dude?
guy, I know you have trouble remembering him. Was his last name Dundee and was his first name Crocodile?
It was not. It wasn't Paul Hogan. I know
just
that
checking.
for a fact.
Was his first name Yahoo and his last name Sirius?
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. No.
I wonder what Yahoo Sirius is up to these days.
Was his last name at work and his first name Men?
And that is all of our Australia jokes.
He was from the Foster family. He made beer. I don't know.
I went to Australia and I was like, I want to get a Foster there, and they're like no one in Australia actually orders a Foster. It's like if you order it there, you're like people laugh at you.
And I said, well, take me to the nearest Outback Steakhouse. Okay, now I'm out of Australia jokes.
There you go.
All right, so in Hungary, there is this politician named Jobbik. No, that's the name of the political party.
This is
the
another
Jobbik Party.
question?
No, this is one of the articles.
I was gonna say, are the questions from Trivial Pursuit?
My transitions are so smooth, you can't even keep track of them.
Oh, is this an article by the same person?
Yeah, he sent us a few articles. He wants our
No,
opinions
I'm
on.
just trying to follow. I can't. I want the listeners to be able to follow what's going on. No one knew who Bloomberg was last week.
Yeah, we like assumed everyone in the world knows who Bloomberg is. We probably should have explained that. People were probably like, "Oh, this would have been really funny if I knew who they were talking about." Oh, the internet goes beyond New York's borders. Oh, okay,
Look at that.
good
Who
to
would've
know.
thought?
Good to know. So, Sanad Zegedi, there is about 8 silent letters that I left out of that name.
I appreciate leaving those letters out.
Yes. His political party was notorious for making derogatory comments about Jews. He accused them of buying up the country and talked about how he hated their Jewishness and a whole bunch of other stuff.
I love when people make the jokes about like the Jews control everything. Mm-hmm. If the Jews control everything, wouldn't you have been shot right after you've said that?
Yeah, you think Germany would be in trouble too.
Yeah, if the Jews really control everything, but like they have no power to actually stop you from doing everything you're doing.
That's because they do no manual labor.
Exactly. I'm Jewish, so that joke was okay.
Exactly. This episode, we're allowed to make gay, black, and Jewish jokes.
Yeah, we can run the gamut here. I think the only thing we can't make is like illegal alien jokes.
I am.
Jay's
no.
actually an illegal alien.
Yeah.
Just for the show, he's an illegal alien midget
Sweet.
in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So why are you boring us about Hungary? Go on.
Because it turns out people did a little research on this guy, and the grandparents on his mother's side are Jewish. So,
I heard that story.
so he's actually a Jewish guy.
That must suck for him.
Yeah, he's like, oops. So yeah, his whole platform was railing about how he hates Jews, and it turns out he's a quarter Jewish.
That's like the Chappelle Show skit about the black white supremacists.
Oh, that is one of my
Yeah, that's one of the
favorite
greatest
skits of all
skits ever.
time. Yeah.
There's to explain the skit. Basically, there's a renowned white supremacist who everyone looks up to, and like no one's ever seen him.
He's like the leader of the KKK, pretty much.
Yeah, he's like the leader of the K and like KKK, and the twist is he's blind and doesn't realize he's black, and then when he finally reveals himself, everyone's like head blows, like pops off, because they lose their mind because they can't believe the biggest hater of black people is black himself.
Right.
Man, that is such a brilliant skit.
It is a brilliant skit.
Okay.
Oh, the Chappelle Show.
We
It's one
miss
of the
it.
few shows that actually went out on a high note, basically.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that Chappelle lost his mind and all that. But
Yeah, but I respect going out on a high note. Not enough shows do that.
Yeah, I mean, most shows end up, 10 seasons, and they've gone like 3 or 4 seasons too many. I mean, most TV shows are, they lose their whatever's good about them by like the 4th or 5th year.
Yeah, I think
They start
5 to
recycling
6
shit.
seasons is a perfect run for a show.
okay, here's a question. I'm pretty sure Jay loves this show. I love this show. Mike, do you like Arrested Development?
I love Arrested Development.
So I think that show was brilliant the entire run. But now they're going to bring it back. They're going to have the show through Netflix. They're going to have at least another 1, maybe 2 more seasons, and they're going to have a movie. Do you think there's a chance that these 2 seasons of the movie are going to be anything close to what the show was?
I think they'll be good. I think our expectations are probably a little too heightened. So it's going to be a disappointment just because everybody's going to expect it to blow their minds.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be bad. I mean, just the talent and the writing and all that stuff, like, it's going to be funny regardless.
Yeah, it was a brilliant
But,
cast on that show.
Yeah.
Such an amazing show.
I mean, I thought the third season was clearly worse than the first 2, so I already
So did-
feel like the
yeah.
show was on a downward trajectory.
Well, I mean, maybe the time off sort of made for, it'll be a little bit more creative because there's been 5 or 6 years or however long it's been in between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's a couple shows that they're trying to bring back Invader Zim, which would make my day.
For those who haven't heard of Invader Zim, you're like everyone
me.
else. No one's heard of it. Like Jay, when Jay says they're trying to bring back Invader Zim, he means he himself is writing the cartoon and going to produce it himself, and no one's going to watch it besides Jay. That's what he means.
You watched it on Netflix and liked it.
It was actually kind of funny. It's some cartoon that apparently was on TV at some point. I have no idea when, but it's about this alien guy who tries to. He came to the Earth to take over the world, but he's really incompetent, kind of. Or
It's a race of aliens that want to take over the whole universe, and they send one to each planet to do like undercover work. But they sent like the screw up to Earth, and it's about him, and it was on Nickelodeon. It's really not for kids, which is probably why it got canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one episode where he realizes that he doesn't have human organs and he has to get a physical in gym. So he starts harvesting all the kids in the school's organs, and he has like 8 lungs and 7 stomachs, and all the kids are walking around sick because they're missing vital organs, and like he's like burping up intestines, and like it's really not a kid show.
it's really not. It was a cartoon, so you can get away with that stuff in a cartoon.
Yeah.
If it was live, if it was just live action, that'd be really awful.
Speaking of shows that left on top, Flight of the Conchords. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show.
I've seen a little of it.
Yeah, vaguely familiar.
It was only 2 seasons. They got offered a third, and they said they didn't have enough material to be funny for a third, and so they just walked away.
I mean, that's
appreciate
pretty
that.
impressive to just
That's a
say
smart
that.
thing. Yeah, I mean, otherwise you end up like Family Guy, 13 years in, and you've been sucking for the past 7.
Yeah. Thank you for endorsing the suckage for the last 7 years, because a lot of people argue with that. That and The Simpsons, that people like really, really argue about. And
So I would say The Simpsons. I say Simpsons has fallen off way more than like Family Guy. You can still get a couple of chuckles from watching an episode. Simpsons is what I imagine they show prisoners in Guantanamo Bay at this point. it's beyond. It used to be, and you have to go back and watch an episode, like one of the old episodes, to make sure you're like, oh, it really was funny, because it's the most brilliant thing. It goes from the most brilliant thing to the exact opposite of the most brilliant thing on TV.
Yep.
It's been easily like 10 years since the last time I watched an episode of The Simpsons, so I couldn't even tell you.
I was watching one episode a season for a while just to make sure it was still terrible. And I even gave that one episode up about 6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I think it's been bad for about 15 years now. It's on season, 25?
I don't know how it's still.
It's in the 20s somewhere. It's like 22, 23, something like that. Started in like 90.
1990 was the first season. So
Yeah.
I guess this is
20
22 seasons.
Yeah, so 23 is starting up soon. So in my opinion, 10 was the last good one. But even with 10, you could sense the sense of humor starting to change.
Right. How many times can you recycle the same jokes?
Well,
Can
it was
you-
just like
are you surprised South Park is the one that's like lasted? South Park still has the more hits than anything. I mean, by hits I mean like it still has some like good episodes.
Well,
even
they've
after all
been
these years.
since season 1. They've been consistent. About half the episodes are funny and half the episodes are terrible, and it's been like that since season 1. So you expect like a stinker here and there.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah, it's been like that since the beginning. Which they never had a peak season like Family Guy and Simpsons did.
Yeah.
But
So I have open, by the way, like Google News and like just like seeing news stories that maybe we want to talk about. And I just saw one that just came up on Google News that I figured we should mention.
okay,
There's a Missouri Congressman, Todd Aiken.
Yes.
He's a conservative Republican from in the U.S. Senate, and he said in an interview, I guess it was today, that it's really rare for women to become pregnant when they are raped.
Why the sperm
If
is less
it's
potent
a
when
legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down, said Aiken, who apparently has never studied anything relating to the human body.
so he's pro rape.
No, he's just saying, well, I guess it's the defense of...
He's saying legitimate rape versus illegitimate rape.
Right.
Well, I guess the
whatever
idea
that
is
is.
that they say, well, you if you're against abortion, is there an exception for someone who gets raped and gets pregnant that way? His answer is, well, it's impossible, almost impossible to get pregnant when you're raped.
Because rapist sperm is less potent.
Yes, because apparently when you rape, the vagina sends out its guards, and the guards put their shields and they use their lightsabers to stop the rape sperm.
There is a special part of the ovulation process that recognizes when someone is raped.
Yes.
It's like sending out antibodies.
Well, that is good to know.
And so he responded that he apparently got some flack for talking about rape and that you can't get pregnant. And so he said he misspoke.
He said
No
his,
shit, Sherlock.
he did what all the NBA players do, and he said his Twitter account got hacked.
He said my voice box got hacked.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's amazing that we will probably have a Republican president this year, considering
I don't
they're
know
this
about
ridiculous. I think it's going to be so close. Even if Obama gets reelected, I think it's going to be so close.
I don't know. I mean,
Go back to the rape thing 1 second. I misspoke about rape. What did you mean to say? Oh, I meant to say it's very possible you get pregnant during rape because that's still sperm and sex and egg. That's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say.
It's the same.
I meant to support my point about not being an exception for abortion, for rape by saying something that's completely counter to what I was saying. That's what I meant to say.
Right. I don't want to. I still want to ban abortions. Rape still gets you just as pregnant. I'm just gonna go to bed. How about that?
yeah,
Todd Askin releases a statement that says, "What I meant to say is when I rape a woman, I am sterile, so they won't get pregnant." That's what I meant to say.
I am a eunuch.
Raped by Todd Atkin, you're okay. You're in the clear. No abortion needed.
Actually, what he meant was that he was raped and he did not get pregnant. So therefore, if it just proves his theory.
Right. All right. So next story.
We elect these people to public office.
Okay, stop saying we. I don't elect these people. Some of my assholes in the other part of the country do, but I do not.
Yeah, but you don't vote, so it's kind of like voting for the other party.
I do vote. I just don't vote in Missouri where this moron was elected.
No, I know. People have ridiculous arguments, though. I've had people tell me, like, if you don't, because, like, if you don't vote in New York, because it's like, Democrats are going to win in New York.
Given, yes.
But people are like, well, if you don't vote, the Republicans are getting an advantage. I'm like, it doesn't matter in New York. It really doesn't. You
know what my favorite thing when the politicians say? And I did think, I thought Romney was going to win until he picked Paul Ryan. I think Obama might win. I think it's an amazing strategy that Mitt Romney said, not to go too political, but he said, I need a vice president that can help me get Republican votes. Oh, he's like, I want to make sure all those people that think Obama's a terrorist are going to still vote for me.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of strategy involved there because I think a lot of conservatives wouldn't vote for Romney because he's a Mormon, as opposed to a Christian.
But they're not going to. But those same people think that Obama's a terrorist, so they're going to still vote for the Mormon.
Yeah, do you vote for the Mormon or do you vote for the Muslim? Yeah, exactly.
If you're voting because of religion, you should not vote.
I agree. I totally agree.
I don't think there's a single person that since Ryan came on, they were like, I wasn't going to vote for Romney. Now I'm going
to.
Like all those people that got mad, like, oh my God, Obama smokes cigarettes. Okay, so what? People like all this personal stuff, really, really doesn't, unless he's like shooting lines, if he's like a heroin addict. Okay, maybe that'll affect his decision making.
Maybe that'll affect his decision.
But I mean, like all this other personal stuff.
Aiken said actually he's a heroin addict, and that's why he said the legitimate rape comment. So he's apologizing. But he said it's kind of don't please don't talk about his heroin habit 'cause that's personal. He doesn't want people getting involved in his personal heroin habit.
I also love Romney's like, it's none of their business what my tax returns are. You know, it doesn't have any point to ask me for my tax returns, even though I asked Obama for his birth certificate for the last 4 years.
Well, he's obviously hiding something very shady by not releasing his tax returns because he's obviously doing that. What I love actually
Because the number is zero. Because he paid
One
zero.
of my favorite things that politicians do, or they say, is so now that Ryan's involved, I guess Medicare is becoming a big topic for the election. And so one politician will say, well, Medicare's on shaky ground, and it's time for us to have a national conversation about what we want to do about Medicare. Or like, we have to have a national conversation about what we want to do about this or that. And they always say that, and I've never been involved in a national conversation. No one ever asked my opinion. All national conversation means is, I want to do what I want, and I'm going to give some asshole excuse for why I'm going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next news story. Australia is pushing, they're trying to totally ban.
There's a lot of Australian news today.
Well, it's the Australian guy sent the I guess he sent all Australian articles. So they're trying to get rid of smoking.
In Australia in general?
Yes.
I thought like in New York where you had to like leave the bar to smoke was tough. Australia, you have to take a boat offshore to smoke now.
Well, they already have the lowest percentage of smokers in the entire world at 15%. They want to bring it down to 10. So now you have to have pictures of like deformed people on the cover, and the actual brand name has to be really tiny, which they're actually proposing here in New York too.
There's still cigarettes.
There's still cigarettes.
Actually, I heard actually Australia's new, on top of what they're doing with the pictures, before you buy a cigarette, you have to hold an emphysema victim and have him gas his last breath in your arms, and then you can have the cigarettes.
They have to hack sputum into your face.
You have to actually watch someone die of cigarette smoke, and then you can smoke.
I think the hacking sputum would be enough to get me to quit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Well, you see the dice. It's a peaceful death. I'm gonna smoke.
I just hocked thick yellow liquid into your face. Want a cigarette?
The thing I don't get is either make it legal or ban it. Why do you have to put all these pictures and rules and hack up the tax? It's either legal or it's not.
Oh, just don't ban. Well, it's still to ban the stuff though.
I mean,
stop smoking because it's illegal.
It is addictive. I mean, I guess you could say that, but
Yeah.
I mean, if people want to kill themselves, why not?
The other new Australian rule is when you buy a pack of cigarettes, the guy at the counter has to tell you the date you're going to die. Oh, hey, March 15, 2028. How you doing?
Hey.
Why you smoke up?
I mean, like, if you're going to make cigarettes legal, you should make weed legal and vice versa. If you're going to make it illegal, make weed illegal. Because, I mean, I just don't see the point in making one legal and one not.
Look at it like this. I mean, I'm a former smoker, a former cigarette smoker. I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore just because I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. There was no health-related reason why I quit. I couldn't afford cigarettes. Smoking just was kind of like a dumb habit to me, so I quit.
Did you have a hard time quitting?
Nope. I pretty much quit cold turkey.
Nice.
Oh.
That said, when people smoke around me, it doesn't really bother me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just personally, like, it's no big deal. I mean, I don't understand why people smoke, particularly, like, when I go to New York on business and I, look at cigarette prices. I'm like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
That's lunch.
It's like $13 a pack now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Right.
And then people who, like, bum cigarettes now, it's like, it used to be, like, a nickel or a dime. Now it's like 50 cents.
For a Lucy?
Yeah. That's, it's kind of asking for a lot now.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, when someone's like, can I bum a smoke? You're like, I don't know if I can afford to let you bum a smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me $1, motherfucker.
Okay, next story. There was high-ranking Chinese politicians that apparently took part in an orgy, and 100 pictures got leaked on social media websites.
So is the rest of this you sending us emails with the pictures?
Believe me, I looked, could not find.
Come on, dude. Google
We
has
tell the
everything.
girlfriend, I'm doing research for the show. That's why I Googled the word gangbang.
Well, China, like they ban sites like the drop of a hat, so you can imagine
Oh,
every
dude.
site.
It's totally online.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you found it already?
Yeah.
What was your Google search?
Chinese orgy 2012.
See, I typed in Chinese orgy and I got a totally different thing.
Ah,
Yeah, that 2012 I think is a big difference.
let's
So,
see, it's an article from the Huffington Post.
oh yeah, but no, I mean you could find it, but I'm talking about actual pictures.
Just do an image search.
So what happened is
There's a teacher, by the way, in Texas who was has been convicted of having a gangbang with her students, and they know they have proof of the gangbang because she filmed it with them.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How
That's always
stupid can you
smart.
be?
was that the extra credit assignment?
The best part is the comments to the article. They like, there's definitely at some point the article breaks down to, well, was she hot? Post a picture. Oh, post a full body picture. And then someone's like, oh, I would have banged her.
So in China, threesomes are illegal,
What?
but this was technically a fivesome.
You know what the best part for the best part of the threesome thing is, like, I would never find out that it's illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'd never go to China, probably.
Well, no, I would just never. That would never happen.
It would
to
never
me.
occur, it would never actually like it would never like have a chance to actually break the law.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never even been close to having that be a problem for me.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike. Do you have many threesome stories?
I don't have many threesome stories.
Any?
But you have more than zero.
That, you can make that deduction, yes.
Just tell us about your threesome story.
I am not telling anybody about my threesome.
Again, there's nothing public about this show.
I agree. I understand.
You might only whispering into a closet. No one has any idea. Was it in New York?
Yes.
Was it awesome?
No,
No.
it wasn't.
No.
It
Why
wasn't.
not?
The thing about threesomes
Mhm.
is that there's always going to be someone that doesn't get as much attention as somebody else does.
Okay. Well,
So-
wait, like 2 out of 3 people.
It was
right?
all hot and heavy, and I was playing Mario Kart.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I was watching Family Guy. No, I
An
know.
episode of, like Friends, where like the beginning where the David Schwimmer's character, his like wife turns lesbian, and like they have like a threesome, but they leave him out entirely. So like, he was like, "Oh, so what'd you do? I made a sandwich." So did you get left out of the threesome?
I didn't get left out of the threesome. I was just ultimately I was unsatisfied. Not physically but
Okay.
not
I get it.
unsatisfied as in not whatever. But it just wasn't like a great experience.
Were these people that you knew, or like was like so many people you would see again?
That's a good
I
question,
think-
actually.
That's what did you say, Jay?
I said that was a good question. Right? Like, was it random or like did you go to a bar and then come up with 2 new people, or were there like you knew them before?
For the rest of the show, Jay will restate my questions in
I knew
proper forms.
I knew one person and didn't know the other one.
Interesting. Okay.
So the two of you plot to pick up a third person?
No, I think it just kind of happened
Was it someone you were dating at the time?
casually.
Okay, so you guys were like, let's find this third Australian guy to satisfy.
This was after the Australian guy.
Well, what do you think of Australians? Well, they're into threesomes. That's all I know about them.
Let's not incorrectly label Australians here.
Do you guys want to hear Dave Mustaine blame the Batman shootings on Obama?
Dave Mustaine, as in
Megadeth? Kicked out of
the-
Metallica because he sucked, so he started another shitty band.
Oh yeah. Was the what is it like Peace Lit like what are the name of his albums? He has,
Peace
like,
sells, but who's buying?
Yeah, peace sells, but who's buying? That's poetic in the death
I
metal
know.
way.
That's deep, man.
So what did
So
Dave?
deep.
So play. I would love to hear what Dave Mustaine said.
Okay.
Back in my country, my president was trying to pass a gun ban. So he's staging all of these murders, like the Fast and Furious thing down at the border in Aurora, Colorado, all the people that were killed there. And now the beautiful people at the Sikh temple. God, I was talking to JD, our promoter here tonight. What a great guy. I was saying, you know, I don't know where I'm going to live if America keeps going the way it's going, because it looks like it's turning into Nazi America. And he said, move down here to Singapore.
So,
Is he speaking at a concert? Where's he speaking?
yes, this is at a concert, and they were
I
actually.
thought it was like Romney's like, and here's my vice presidential pick, Paul Ryan,
Mustaine.
and the comment on crime, the guy from Megadeth.
I don't know if you were if you heard the people in the background, but they were yelling like "We love Obama."
Obama, right?
But he said he's trying to pass a gun ban, so he's staging all these murders. Like
Is that what he
Fast,
said? I didn't even catch him say that.
yeah,
That's what he said.
like the Fast and the Furious thing at the border, Aurora, Colorado, all the people that were killed there, and now the people at the Sikh temple. He said that was all staged by Obama.
There was a thing a couple years ago where, if you remember, do you remember from the whole Katrina disaster? And there was a guy that President Bush had said Browning's doing a heck of a job. Do you guys remember that? He was like the head of this guy. He was the head of FEMA. This guy was in charge of dealing with Katrina. Did a disastrous job. When that oil spill happened a couple of years ago, this same guy, Mike Brown, said that this oil spill was planned by Obama to stop oil drilling in the U.S. He wanted to ban oil drilling, and this was his way of doing it by planning this whole oil spill.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the same thing. Obama's planning these murders so he can ban guns.
So Obama is like the James Bond villain Goldfinger. He just has these like elaborate plots.
Elaborately crazy plots.
And apparently he ties up, Romney and Dave Mustaine with like slow moving laser beams and explains his entire plan, and then leaves and gives them a chance to escape so they could tell everyone during a shitty
Tell
concert.
everybody exactly.
Yeah.
Did you know that Obama has planned all the droughts that are going on in Middle America to basically because he knows that will mean that we'll have less corn production in the U.S., which means he can finally ban the Three Musketeers bar. That bastard.
So I guess if you get kicked out of Metallica at an early age, you go insane.
I think he was insane before he got kicked out of Metallica.
I think that's why he
got
got kicked out of
Metallica before they made millions and millions of dollars. I'd go insane also.
But he hasn't done that badly for himself. I mean, Megadeth sells records.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing they do, because they do suck.
I can't say consciously I've ever heard a Megadeth song.
Really?
Never.
I have. I always do. I'm listening to Megadeth while I do my yoga in the morning.
Oh, I hear that it's incredible yoga music.
We want to have a band title about death, but big death. Large death?
Much death.
Uber death.
Ultra death. No, that's taken.
No.
That's taken.
Yeah, so good for Gabe, good for Mustaine. Glad he thinks Obama's planning these murders.
Does he think that maybe like nobody's buying his records, so if he says something ridiculous, people go out and buy his records?
I'm pretty sure the majority of people who read that statement were like, who the fuck is Dave Mustaine?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think Obama would have another way to ban guns in America if he wanted to ban guns, besides planning a shooting spree at a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
so-
they told Obama, and Obama was like, who the fuck is Dave Mustaine?
Well, we need to ban guns. And to ban guns, we have to have people understand they're bad for you. And let's see, if they're bad for you, we have to have people shot at a really popular event. Oh, like a sporting event? No, a midnight showing of a popular summer movie. Oh, okay, that's a better idea.
Yeah. Well, I figure, 12 dead people will probably ban guns across the whole country.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, remember that time in Colorado when they had the school shooting and then we weren't allowed to use guns again?
Megadeth sucks, by the way.
I'm just going to I'm not even going to investigate that. I'm going to take your word.
They're really bad. And this is a guy who likes Metallica, so well,
no, I love Metallica.
But Uber Death actually sounds a lot like Radiohead.
true. Caveat up until 1994.
Metallica?
Yeah.
I actually like some post 1994 Metallica.
Like what?
I like Load.
Yeah, Load
Actually,
Load
even
was
like that-
94. That
Load
I
was-
included
Load
it.
was 96.
Oh, okay. Till 96. I'm including Load.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming is an unpopular statement, but I'm going to include Load.
I like Load.
Yeah, Load's not bad.
Yeah.
Reload is, I think anyway.
If I remember correctly, there was some stuff on Reload that I kind of dug too.
That's when they started making sequels of their own songs.
Right. Yeah, that had like the Unforgiven 2 or whatever on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really shitty till I heard Unforgiven 3.
There was
Is
an
it really-
Unforgiven 3?
Oh, there was an Unforgiven 3.
It's a trilogy?
Yes.
Was that on, what album was that on?
I believe it was Death Magnetic was Unforgiven 3. And it was really, really bad.
I can't imagine 2012 Metallica having anything remotely interesting.
Oh, listen to the Lou Reed Metallica
Oh,
compilation.
no. We're not doing that.
Oh, you've heard it before then.
There was I'm going to plug here. There is a review of that Lulu record on our site, and it might be the most negative review in 2.5 years that we've ever written. So,
Well, rightfully so, because it was the worst thing. I think we played a couple of clips one episode as a joke, and it's the worst thing ever. So we have one more story. I'm going to play the audio for this one.
okay.
The time to save on a new Honda is...
Oh, cool. We got an ad first.
Jay does that every time.
Every time. Well, I queued it up, and then when I clicked on the page, it like refreshed on its own. So that's always fun.
Well, Jay, hang on. I want to know when is the time to save. I'll never know unless you play the full ad. Jay has an idea, actually, that we're going to play ads for companies like Toyota and then like call Toyota and go, we played an ad. Can we get money?
Yeah, where's
It's like
my
advertising
check?
in reverse.
Go to 56 minutes into the episode. Where's my check? All right, here we go.
The story you saw first on Fox 5.
It's Fox, so you know it's true.
It seems like a major breach on many levels.
A D.C. man expecting a television to be delivered instead received a brand new, fully assembled, ready-to-fire Sig Sauer assault rifle. The address on the box was correct. The contents most certainly were not. What happened? Fox 5's Paul Wagner.
Anyway, he ordered a TV and he got an assault rifle in the mail.
Wow.
I thought
That's
that,
mix up.
yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Apparently, Fox had 4 more minutes of that story to report, which we're not going to play. But
Oh, God.
yeah, explain what happened. Well, I ordered a TV, and an assault rifle showed up.
What the hell?
So I thought, let's go see Batman.
Oh.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Oh.
There's no explanation as to why it showed up. It just says it's a dangerous situation in America when assault weapons can easily end up in the wrong hands.
It's almost a weirder story if it happened in reverse. It was like I ordered an assault weapon and they sent me a TV instead.
That would be a good anti-terrorism campaign.
Whoever was planning to shoot up that Best Buy just had their plan spoiled.
Exactly.
Instead of shooting the place up, I returned a TV.
Yeah.
Nice amount of money. Where's my receipt? I'm gonna get my gun.
Oh, boy.
How you guys doing on time? Do you guys want to end or do you want to continue?
I can go a couple more minutes, but I can't go
Yeah.
too.
A little bit longer.
Is there a second email?
No, there's not a second email. There's one more article on this email.
I thought you said we had 2 emails.
No, I said last week we got an email with a bunch of stories, and this week we got an email with a bunch of stories.
Did we read last week's email?
Yeah, we did all the stories last week.
I have no memory of last week's show. I have what's called baby's brain.
Yeah.
Ever since my son was born, I cannot remember anything that happened more than like 2 minutes ago. I am basically the guy from Memento now. I think that the answer to that whole movie was that he had a kid.
Yeah, well, I guess if I got a total of 5 hours sleep, interrupted 3 times.
I mean, the sleep has gotten like better, like plateaus eventually, but still, you never feel well rested, and I don't know.
See, I have that problem, but it's called smoking pot.
Oh, pot! I miss you.
Me too. Me too. What happened? Why do you have to start giving me anxiety attacks? Anyway, I know
got
a
some
lot.
stuff for that too. I got some stuff for that too.
Whoa, what is that?
Ativan. It's pretty awesome.
I haven't tried that.
Yeah, it mellows you out.
Yeah, no, I tried Paxil, but it mellowed me out way too much to the point. It's like, oh, I don't have any emotions ever again. Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, there's another outbreak of my wife gets these her. So there's an outbreak of salmonella in cantaloupe.
Ooh.
So people were like eating cantaloupe and dying.
I thought that was only in eggs.
Well, I guess it's happening. Basically, what happens is a cow takes a shit in like the water supply of a farm, and the shit goes over to the water that produces the cantaloupe, and then you have salmonella, shitted cantaloupe. I don't know, something along those lines. It was also awful because you think you're eating something healthy like fruit, and
Right.
that's like worse than like the Snicker bar you could have eaten instead.
The moral of this story is don't eat fruit.
At least there should be there should be a like salmonella outbreak in like a Milky Way, and then you'd be like, oh well, at least I knew that was bad for me anyhow.
Right. Yeah, how
But,
come McDonald's never gets salmonella?
So Friday night, we put my son to sleep, and I made dinner for us, and I made like a very like summery pasta thing. Where I cut up watermelon and cantaloupe and put pasta all together, and we had like some stuff on top of it. It was good.
Pasta?
Yeah, it came out good. I actually put cottage cheese on top of it. It was good. I know it sounds really weird.
Pasta? Like spaghetti?
Actually, it was like curly cues.
It sounds terrible.
It was actually really tasty.
Okay.
But so that happened. We made it, and there was a bunch of leftovers. And then my wife found out from her mom that there was a whole big salmonella outbreak. And so I was like, hey, for dinner tonight, do you want to just have the leftovers from Friday night's meal? She's like, yeah, but I won't eat the cantaloupe anymore. And I was like, but you ate the cantaloupe on Friday.
And you're not dead.
And you're not dead. I'm pretty sure this cantaloupe it's safe. She's like, well, maybe I didn't eat like the bad pieces. I can't eat it anymore.
All right.
So that's the insanity of. I love my wife, but that's the insanity I live with.
Wait, so she wouldn't eat the whole thing, and you would just...
No, she had the pasta. She would eat around it, but she wouldn't eat the cantaloupe portion of the.
So did she think that it was like partial salmonella, or
I don't know. Maybe like you ate maybe it was like matching the pieces together. Like if you had like 3/4 of the salmonella, you're okay. But if you finished off to have the extra salmonella on top of it, you're done.
It's that last bite that'll kill you.
And I was gonna give some cantaloupe to my son, who he already ate some of it also. And she was like, no, we can't give it to him anymore because of the salmonella thing. I'm like, this cantaloupe is fine. We've all eaten it, and we're all talking about it the next day.
Right. It doesn't like develop salmonella. It has it or it doesn't.
Doesn't.
Yeah, it's not like the cantaloupe hears about salmonella and like goes like, well, I gotta keep up with the fad.
Yeah. Awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last article, a company wanted to prove that people will believe anything on the internet. So they posted an article about Apple saying they're developing a new kind of screw so that people can't break into their products easily. And it was all hoax, and people reported it on the news and stuff.
It's a pretty hilarious hoax.
Yeah, they got everybody.
They're developing a new type of screw. Oh my god! I fell for it.
But they weren't. Wah, wah.
Unbelievable.
So the company named Day 4 is won an award for the least funny company in the history of the planet.
They make there should be an award for that.
It should, yeah, like worst prank of the year. Yeah, why don't they have negative awards? That would be so great.
They do
I feel like
movies. They
some
have
people do have negative awards.
They have the Rotten Tomatoes award.
Yeah, but they should have it. It should be official, like on TV, like like ABC's, competition for the
idiot
Emmys. Yeah, like
Someone
the
goes up to like and the winner of dumbest joke ever on the internet
Yeah.
is Dave
Exactly.
Chaplinsky. Oh, Dave, how'd you do it? Well, I'd like to thank my parents for being terrible at raising me, and the school system in New York for just not even coming close to educating me. I'd like to thank my lack of sense of humor on the Christian religion, and that's about it. So fuck you all.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great if they had like, you know, a real award show? Like, obviously nobody would show up to accept the award, but at least announce them. You know, worst comedy of the year, worst actor of the year. I think it's called the Razzies.
Yeah, that's
that's
one for
what it is.
movies.
They should do that for everything though. Worst albums.
Well, in the same respect, I think every time like you lose at a sporting event, they should ask you why God wasn't on your side tonight.
Yeah. Doesn't Adam Sandler win the Razzie every year? Oh no, Michael Myers won for The Love Guru. I know that.
Oh, Adam Sandler releases some movies that I'm amazed. The one where he like played him and his sister.
Oh
Sister.
God.
And people watch these movies, which I don't like. It stupefies me.
Well, that's why they make them, because he's going to make a couple million. It doesn't. He spends like 7 minutes writing an hour and a half movie, and he makes a few million.
Well, because basically what happens is like someone like Adam Sandler releases like three movies that do pretty well together, and then everyone from there is like, well, he's kind of like a different kind of humor, and like let's just bank on it. This one will be the big hit again. This will be his big comeback.
It's a different kind of humor. It's called not funny.
No, I think it's the fact that his first movie was funny, and people don't like to admit that things get worse or people
He made
peak.
2 very good movies, and that was it.
Right, and I call it the Simpsons corollary. People are in denial that it's no longer funny. Same with Adam Sandler. People are like,
the thing
well,
about the difference there is that The Simpsons is free. Like you pay
Yeah.
$12 to see a shitty Adam Sandler movie,
yeah, that's true.
and the fact that people keep going in their pockets and spending however much money to see a movie that is, before you even sit in the theater or go to pay for your ticket, you know that it's going to be a terrible movie.
I love the people that get mad or shocked. Like, I just paid $12 and that movie was terrible. It's really Adam Sandler playing his own sister was bad. You were expecting that
Okay,
to
I'm
be
looking
awesome.
back at it. I'm looking to look up Adam Sandler's movie history, most recently.
What was the one where he played like the Borat kind of character?
I don't know. He
was like a barber. Yeah, he was a
That's
barber.
My Boy, which got like such terrible reviews.
Oh yeah, that was one with Andy Samberg.
Oh, that looked really bad too.
Yeah, that's the one where Andy Samberg's embarrassed to be in the movie.
That set a milestone. That was the 20th straight movie where Adam Sandler talked in a little kid voice.
So That's My Boy, Jack and Jill. Let's see what else that he was like a star of. Grown Ups, which was pretty bad. Funny People, which I never saw, which I heard was kind of depressing. Mm-hmm. You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
That was the one Mike was talking
That was
about.
the one. Yeah.
I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Which I walked out of.
Reign Over Me, which was a drama, which I think it was supposed to be a comedy, and they found there were no jokes in the script, and they just called it a drama. It was
Yeah.
terrible in either way. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in a movie. There was Click, where he had like a remote control where he controlled his family. It was really bad.
You've seen a lot of these.
I've seen some of these. The Longest Yard I did not see. Spanglish was another drama, which was terrible.
I didn't watch The Longest Yard because I thought,
was he the main character in The Longest Yard even?
yeah, he was the quarterback, wasn't he?
Oh, was he mad? I didn't see that one. You know what was actually really good? You guys see Punch Drunk Love?
No.
No, but I have heard that that's good.
That I actually really like.
The
That's my favorite.
70s Longest Yard was awesome. It did not need to. Some movies don't need to be remade.
Remade, right. I agree with you there.
Like how they're
Is there any,
remaking.
wait, is there any, okay, forget, everyone always says that movies do not need to be remade. When's the last movie that you've seen that was remade that you're like, I'm glad they remade that movie? I'm glad that Total Recall, that had been out like 15 years ago. I'm glad they remade it finally.
I'm trying to think. I know there's been decent ones. I know. I'll tell you what's not going to be on the list. Red Dawn. Cold War
We
movie.
talked about that last episode.
Yeah, Cold
They're
War
remaking
movie.
Red Dawn?
Yeah,
We're
it's
making last episode by talking about Red Dawn.
they're replacing the Russians with Koreans.
Oh, jeez.
So can you guys think of any remake you've seen that you were glad it was remade?
I'm just trying to think of any remake I've seen.
No, I can't think of. Oh, Ocean's 11.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Best remake ever.
That's probably the only good remake ever.
Or like the last Star Trek movie, which was kind of a remake but kind of not. I mean, it's part of a series.
Yeah,
Well,
I
guess
would.
I don't
you
think
can call
that
the
really
Batman
qualifies.
one's a remake also, based on that logic.
Well, yeah, no, those are more like reboots. It's not a remake. There's a difference.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I think
seen
that's literally it. Ocean's 11's the only good remake.
So don't remake any more movies. Not that that'll stop anybody, because people apparently love going to see these. They don't like, oh, I'm familiar with this movie, so I'm gonna go and see it.
Yeah.
I think you should do
Look up
really
the stuff.
inappropriate remakes. Like, coming this summer, you thought the Nazis were done. Well, welcome to Schindler's List again.
Oh God.
Schindler's Lister.
Oh.
If you like genocide the first time, you'll love Hotel Rwanda 2012.
This time we get everybody.
Ah.
No,
Don't give anybody in Hollywood any ideas.
I'm actually looking on Wikipedia for a list of all the remade movies, and I literally don't see one that was good.
What else are you seeing?
No, there's hundreds.
Yeah.
I'm up to E, and there hasn't been one good one yet.
If you like the girl from Precious, you'll like her in the reboot The Precious. This summer, she gets raped by her uncle and her father and has kids with both of them. In the most depressing movie you'll ever see again.
I'm up to G. There's still no good remakes. So I think we could pretty much...
Yeah, we can put that to bed. There are just no good movie remakes. It's just non-existent, except for Ocean's 11.
Apparently Heat was a remake.
Really?
See, that's the kind of remake where you're like, I didn't even know it was a remake.
Right.
That's a good remake.
By the same director, 6 years later. It was called L.A. Takedown,
Oh.
directed by Michael Mann, and then 6 years later, Heat came out, directed by Michael Mann.
Michael Mann.
It's the same. Really?
He was just like, I screwed that up the first time. I'm going to make another one.
Yeah, I'm going to make one of the most awesome movies ever.
A very rare case of, the second time being the charm, I guess.
This summer, Adam Sandler remakes The Godfather.
Don Corleone has that Adam Sandler baby voice.
And it's the day of my daughter's wedding.
Exactly.
I could see that actually happening, too.
Oh, God.
Michael Corleone, being played by Justin Bieber, will blow your mind.
It'll be a musical.
Okay, I'm up to L. There's no good one. So
I think we're running out of time anyhow.
We are.
Slash, I gotta go to sleep soon.
It's 10 o'clock.
I have a baby, and so
yeah.
I have to wake up. My life's different than yours.
Right.
So I have to be up no matter what, 6:30. So I'm gonna go to sleep soon.
God bless. Jeez.
Well, it's been great having you on the show, Mike.
Oh, thanks. I'd love to come back, and you guys are obviously invited on my show as well. So I hope we can do this again.
Yeah, when do you do your show?
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm
I'm giving you shit. I was on your show once, and then like the next episode was like 7 months later.
I'm going to give myself an ultimatum that I'm going to do a show at least every 2. How often do you guys do your show?
We try and do weekly. It ends up more like every 10 or 12 days.
Well,
Okay.
the Brink show we try to do weekly, but then during the NBA season we do it less often because of the Knicks show.
Right.
NBA show we do every week during the season, twice a week.
Okay, I'm going to try to go bi-weekly. I think that's something halfway decent to reach for is twice a month.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
a good goal.
Good.
We've been on a once a month schedule fairly consistently, but I feel like I can do twice a month.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
So there you go. You have my promise on air for whoever's listening. Twice a month.
Is there is it Blurredcast?
It's Blurred Radio. You can listen to us at blogtalkradio.com/popblurred. And
for those who don't know about the podcast, you focused on just the history of Hungarian leaders, right? That's the entire podcast about. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. It's very, very educational.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at Nick of Sanity on Twitter, which is with a K, Knick of Sanity because I decided to combine our two shows onto one Twitter. And then
using the show that's popular.
Well, then I thought, well, it's too difficult combining the Twitters. So I made the I made the NY Knicks podcast Twitter, and I tried to go back to Brink of Sanity, and somebody took it. So I can't get the Brink of Sanity Twitter, and the guy posted twice, and then hasn't been active for about 15 months. But apparently he has the name for all times now. So that's why I'm Nick and not Brink of Sanity.
Got it.
Awesome, huh? What's your Twitter?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, it's twitter.com/Poplerd.
Poplerd. All right.
Popblerd. Follow me. Everybody listening, follow me.
Follow Big Money Mike.
Follow him.
Or
follow him to the promised land.
Yes.
All right. So we'll be back soon. Thank you for listening, everybody. And good night.
Good night.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.